Hi wonderful people, my name is Akorede Adenike. You're welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time of you checking on my channel, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for you to be notified each time I upload new video. In this tutorial today, I would like to teach you how to cut and sew armhole princess dart bustier blouse with illusion neckline. Here's the pattern I'm using for it. I've got the pattern already. Here's the front part of it and here's the back part of it. I have a video on how to draft it out. I'm going to put the link in the box below. Let me spread it and let you see how it will look like. So here's the both side of the front. As you can see, here is the illusion neckline we are talking about. As you can see, here's the front. Here's it now. So let me show you the back, how it's going to look like. Here's the back part of it, and this is the yoke for it. There's it. As you can see, these two sides of the back and the center front with the yoke. So I'm going to use this now to cut my fabric out. When I cut it finish, I'll let you see. Now I've finished cutting out my fabric. This is the back part of it and this is the front. I added half-inch joining allowance to it all through, and the front too, I added half-inch joining allowance to it all through. I've already added side seam to the bottom paper, so I'll now continue with my tutorial. Before removing your pattern, you have to notch here, which is the chest line. You have to notch. Don't notch it too much, please. Notch the bust point and the underbust. You have to notch it for it not to give you a problem while sewing. Is it? Notch, notch, and make sure you notch this one too. You have to notch before removing your pattern paper. Don't notch it too much, please. You're going to do the same thing on the back part of it and the yoke too. You have to notch it. So let me remove my pattern paper to show you how it looks like. So here's the two sides. There's it. So this is how it will look like. So this is for this, and this is for this. So this will be here, and this will be here. So is it. This is how the front will look like. As you can see, it's very nice and beautiful. I have two sides and two of these, then one of these. This will be, we stands at my yoke. So I'm going to cut the lining for it. I'm cutting exact as the fabric for the lining. So before stitching my top, here's the back of it. I'm going to remove my pattern paper as well and spread it to let you see how it will look like. Here's it. Two center front and two sides for the back. Here's it. You can see it's very nice and beautiful. So I used satin fabric for my yoke. So here's it. There's a yoke for it, for the back, and here is for this. I hope you can see it very well. There's it. I got two of these because I'm using the second one as a lining for it for the yoke. So two of these as well. So I'll now continue by stitching it. I'm starting my stitching from the front. So I'll put this one aside. Lest I forget, I added interfacing to it yesterday to my fabric. So I added it to the front as well. Here is it. I added interfacing to it. Here is the yoke for the front. And I'm going to cut the lining for both now, for both front and back of it. I'll come and show you when I finish. Now I'll finish cutting the lining. Here is it. Here is the center back, two center back. Here's the lining for it. Two two sides back. Here's the lining for it. I added soft stitch to the lining, and this one too. I added soft stitch to it. So, you know, I said I'm going to use this one as a lining for it. So I've got the lining for this already, the yoke for the back, and this is the yoke for the front, which is the illusion neckline we are talking about. I've got two of these. I'm going to use it to turn each other. So here is the lining for this one, the front part of it, and here is the lining for the two sides of the front. Here is it. So I'm going to start my stitching from the front. So let me put the lining aside. So here's the two sides for the front, and these will be like this. Make sure you don't make any mistake, please. That's the yoke. So I'll first of all stitch like this. I'll let the right side face each other like this. I'll start my stitching from the down part of it like this, from the waist. Going to let it align on each other and make sure I set it, the notch on each other. I have to let it align on each other till this place with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the second part of it like this. When I finish stitching, I'll come and show you before stitching these two sides to it. So I'm going to start my stitching from the bottom here till this up with 1/2 inch. Now I've finished with the center front. Here is it. As you can see, it has formed the illusion neckline we are talking about. So I'll notch this place, and I'm going to notch the second side too with 1/4 inch. Don't let notching touch the sewing place. So I'll now go ahead and stitch this by placing right side on each other like this. I'm going to start my stitching from the bottom here down to this place till I reach up here with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the second side of it. Place the right side on each other and stitch from the bottom here till this armpit here with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the lining, the same process on the lining too. So when I finish stitching this, I'll come. So here's the back part of it. I'm going to stitch it. So I'll let the right side of this, I'll place it on each other like this, stitch with 1/2 inch till I reach the armpit here. I'm going to do the same thing on this. Let the right side face each other and stitch till I reach the armpit here with 1/2 inch. So the yoke too, when I finish with that, when I finish with this now, I will now place the yoke like this. I'll take two out of it. Two will be for the lining and two will be for the fabric. When I finish stitching here from this down here till this armpit with 1/2 inch, I'll now place my right side of my yoke. I'll just place it like this and stitch from here till this place with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the second part of it, of the back part too. So when I finish all that, I'll come and show you. I'm going to do the same process on the lining too. So when I now have finished joining, this is the front of it, and this is the lining for it. This is the back part, this is the lining, and this is the fabric. As you can see, it's very nice and beautiful. I've notched it all the necessary area and I've ironed it out. As you can see, I've ironed it. Here's the back and here's the lining for it. So here's the front. I've notch it and I've ironed it. As you can see, it's very neat and beautiful. Here's the lining too. I've ironed it. So I'll now go ahead and place the right side on each other like this. I'm going to place the lining on the fabric. Let the right side face each other like this. Now I'll now go ahead and stitch the neckline with 1/2 inch, then both sides with 1/2 inch as well. I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Place the lining on the fabric like this. Let the right side face each other like this. Then stitch the neckline with 1/2 inch and both sides, the zipper side and the second side here with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the second part of the back part. So when I finish that, I'll come and show you. Now I've finished joining the lining to the fabric. Here's it. Here's the back part of it. I'm going to notch the neckline with 1/4 inch like this. And make sure you always trim all the excess fabric and the thread to make your job neat, please. So I'm going to notch it with 1/4 inch. Don't let the notching touch the sewing, please. And this is the front part of it. I'm going to notch the neckline as well with 1/4 inch. Do not let the notching touch the sewing. Notch it like this, and I'm going to turn it to the right side like this. I'm going to turn it to the right side. Here's the front. As you can see, that's formed. There is it. And I'm going to iron it. After ironing, here's the back part too. I'm going to turn it to the right side as well. And make sure this angle comes out very well. Turning it to the right side. I'm going to turn the second side too to the right side. Make sure the angle comes out very well. So I'll now iron it. After ironing, I'll just place the back on the front like this. I'll let the right side face each other. I'm going to join the shoulder with 1/2 inch. I'm going to join it with 1/2 inch like this. You can let it lay on each other like this. Then make sure this center matches each other, then stitch with 1/2 inch. Or better still, you can place the front like this and place your back on it like this. Open the back like this, then put in the front shoulder in like this and fold it like this. Let the shoulder line align on each other place. Then stitch from here with 1/2 inch like this. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the second shoulder. Then I'm going to stitch the side same too. When I finish that, I'll come and show you. Now I've ironed it, I've joined the shoulder, and I've stitched my seam allowance. Here's it. As you can see, here's a inner of it. See how neat and beautiful it is. This is the right side of it. As you can see, it's very beautiful. So my focus in this video is on how to cut and sew armhole princess dart bustier blouse with illusion neckline, which I've already achieved, and I'll show you how to make it. So I'll go ahead and attach my desired peplum to it and my desired sleeve. So if you want to know how I will attach my peplum to it, I have a video on how to make peplum top, which I'm going to put the link in the box below. So in any way, if my tutorial has been helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to support my channel. If you have any question pertaining to cutting and sewing, you can join me on my Facebook group, Details to Sewing, created by Akorede Adenike. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at Akorede Adenike. Till I see you in my next video, guys, stay blessed. Bye bye.